One of the other bills that was kind of problematic, and we're still kind of working on some changes, as Chu had this bill, it relates to a lot of times we have tenants that that may be a victim of domestic violence or just some kind of criminal activity where they're always calling the police to the building and stuff. And a lot of times we as landlords, we get tired of police coming to our building every day. So, not that we would threaten the tenant, but we may just mention to the tenant that if this keeps happening, we're going to evict you. And so this bill simply says you can't do that. And so it says that, but it does allow you to talk to that tenant and offer them things like saying, hey, you ever thought about a protective service order? You thought about, maybe changing the locks if this is your friend or something like that. And one of the things that we argued is a real stickler. If you had two people on the lease, girlfriend and boyfriends, or boyfriends and boyfriends, a girlfriend, whatever, if they were both on the lease and they have some kind of domestic dispute, well, you can't change the locks and lock one of them out if they're both on the lease because the other one's going to sue you. Exactly. So it put us in an untenable situation. So, we said we can't be involved in that. But it's not one of those bills that you're going to lose a whole lot of sleep over, but it is something we brought to the attention, the fact that it does present some liability for us, just like in any other case, and the fact that in a domestic case, either domestic or just coming out of civil affair between two people, that we would allow them to break the lease and terminate the tenancy. And one of the reasons that we, as rental property owners, we believe in honoring leases because they should go kind of both ways. But the thing that we kind of concerned about is if you had a person, two people on a lease, and there was domestic violence and something going on, and in a case like that, we terminate the lease and let the people go because it's not worth the liability to force a person to stay because family members, they're going to be standing up in line, and lawyers going to be lining up because they know we all, landlords, we all rich and got unlimited money, and we all have our Ferrari parked in our second home. And so they would be looking at us for that. So that's the kind of way. But this going back to a few other things, then I ask you if you have any questions. But once again, these tenants' rights groups, they're so well organized and they're so well funded by a lot of, and we did some research on some of the funding they're getting. Some of these groups were getting funding from the California Endowment and things like that, because a lot of those organizations just didn't understand, and that's why we have to do a better job of messaging. And typically for rental property owners, we've really been kind of laid back through the years and not really engaged as we should have been. And now we are because it has such devastating effects on us. So we are more engaged. And there have been a number of people in various organizations that have been able to go to the board of directors on some of these organizations. They have cut their funding from some of these organizations. And we're continuing to look at sources of fund. Like Weinstein with his AIDS Foundation and all that money that he's contributed, we don't quite understand that. But anyway, it is what it is, and that's what's causing us to spend a lot of money on these.